the science behind addiction recovery, which is a pretty broad topic to talk about in 3 minutes, but here we go. So first one I would talk about is epigenetics. And what epigenetics means is that, we are given our genome, our genetic material at the moment of conception. And we used to think, okay, well, you got what you got and there's nothing we can do about it. Now we understand that actually our DNA changes and it's influenced by our environment. So most of us live in a controlled environment. We live in, 3 predictable meals a day. We have, we live in houses and whatnot. So our environment is mostly internal. So the things that we eat, the things that we think, the things that we do, whether we exercise or not, all of these things are either upregulating my DNA, meaning I'm getting stronger and healthier, or they're downregulating my DNA, which means I'm getting weaker and more degenerated. So beginning to understand that and incorporating that into the actual treatment plan gives us the ability to actually use our genetics to help us rather than hinder us in the recovery process. Then we talk about the science of neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity means that the brain is constantly changing. The brain is constantly being molded and shaped and adapting to its environment. And neuroplasticity means the more you think about something, the more it gets wired in and becomes automatic. It gets relegated to sort of an unconscious behavior. So we look at walking as a good example of that. I don't have to think about it. So when we begin to understand that a lot of our brains are wired with trauma, wired to addiction, wired to disempowering behavior, wired to feel unworthy, wired to feel disempowered, and we can begin the process consciously of rewiring so we can wire to recover, wire to feel better, wire our brain to be recovered, wire our brain to repattern our old traumas and on our past, and we can capitalize on the structure of the brain to help us in our recovery rather than hurt us in our recovery, because the more I complain, the more I focus on the negative, the more whatever I'm doing, my brain will make it more efficient to do. The next piece of science I want to talk about is the science of psychedelics. And this is getting a lot of prominence now in the therapeutic world. Been around for thousands of years. And what it really does is it will quiet the default mode network of the brain, and that's your usual thoughts, your usual loop of things you think about, our problems, etc. It'll quiet that part of the brain, and it allows other areas of the brain to light up, meaning the access to new ideas, new ways of looking at things, new ways of looking at the world, new data coming in. One of the things that it also does for us is it helps the brain to be more plastic. So in the next couple of days after we do our sessions here, the brain more receptive to change, and that's what people are coming for, is change. So what we found with a psychedelic therapy, it's a big catalyst for change. And another piece is our gut. We talk about the science of our gut, and we now are beginning to understand that inflammation is the precursor to anxiety and depression, which is the precursor to many addictions when we think about it. So your gut is secreting neurotransmitters, including serotonin. Most of your serotonin made in your gut. There's all kinds of vitamins and other things that your body needs to function well. And if my gut is in a state of disrepair, I'm not going to have those things, and I'm not going to feel as good. And so our entire program takes these 4 pieces of science, and we're working with them in some way every single day. It's actually the backbone of what goes on around here.